Good morning, everybody. Welcome once again this weekend to the QuvarTV show. The only show where you get one man who's not a bear, he just dresses like one, he swears. The only show where you'll get that one man over and over again with only a few spare hours in between, all weekend long, basically. Because I started streaming yesterday, early in the morning, and I was streaming for about 6 hours or so. Took a short break to eat some pizza, play some Dungeons and Dragons with some dear friends such as you, Feather. Oh, hello, good morning. Then I hopped back on to stream and streamed for another 4 to 5 hours. Played Deltarune Chapter 2. Snowgrave Root, absolutely phenomenal, highly recommend it. Then I took a quick nap. Didn't go too well, and now I'm back again, live and in person, wearing a silly hat because somebody told me to put the hat back on, and I haven't been told to take that silly thing off yet. I have some tea here. I have my hairbrush. Hell yeah. Good morning, Maddie. Good morning, Feather. Good morning, Maddie. I hope you slept well. I hope you had a beautiful night of rest, and I hope that you enjoy what you're about to see here and about to hear here. I hope you didn't sleep badly because of the dreams, Emil.
Well, now you see, Mr. Wellbred, I don't think I had any dreams last night. In fact, it was one of the best nights of sleep I've had in a long time, quite frankly. Mr. Quvar, on the other hand, no, he just couldn't get to sleep quite well, perhaps because he was still hopped up on a little bit of the tea he had been drinking during his stream, and maybe a little bit of the gamer juice, so that may have kept him up a little bit, yes. But as it is right now, he's feeling alright. He's a little tired, a little sleepy, but he always is. But he's got some more tea here in front of him. He's got some Tetley's British Black Blend here. That's the tea of the day. I was going to go for the English breakfast again, because he does quite enjoy the English breakfast. But he had English breakfast yesterday, finished off his Twinnings, and all he's got left is the Wasatski, so he's going to go for some Tetley's British Black Blend for the evening. Yes. Sir, can you testify that your gamer juice does not contain performance-enhancing drugs? Oh, would you look at the time? I gotta take my tea bag out of my tea. What a shame. I just gotta... Sorry, excuse me for a moment. The Tetleys, of course, as you know. You're my hero. Get it? Thank you, Maddie, for joining the QuvarMe, but harder this time, with money. This is a bad gift to use. Thank you very much, Maddie. I appreciate it. I appreciate the support. Love you. I just gotta pull this out. As you all know, the Tetleys, of course, does not have a tag to it, so I have to dip my fingers into. I got it. First try. First try. Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. Now let's just give that a quick little gamer taste and see how it goes. Burned my tongue just like last night. It's hot. Who'd have thought? FYI, you don't have stream alerts on your just chatting scene. The resub one did pop up. I don't know if that's what you're referring to. I saw it. I'm fairly certain I saw it. Stop trying to burn your fingers, Q. I wouldn't dare. I'm not that foolish, Maddie. Don't worry. My fingers are eternal. They will not die, and neither will I. Here, let me test. What do you mean? What do you mean, let me test? I can test it. I can test it right now. Hold on. It's just the... You just gotta hit the...
Ding dong, hello.
Ding dong, hello. See right there. Quvar has joined the QuvarMe. Thank you very much, Quvar. There's no turning back. You're mine now. See, I tested it. It's working fine. No need to do anything. I got it under control. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Now, as some of you may be familiar with, when I do these Dead by Daylight streams, by daylight, as the daylight rises over the horizon and the sun comes out to play, I do like to begin with a little bit of reading of some creepypastas to kind of get in the mood for it and get myself in the groove for it. They call it gamer juice, not lamer juice. That's fucking right. Thanks for the gamer juice feather. Gamer. And what is more true gaming than reading a creepypasta? So I'll do that. It'll get me into the swing of things, and kind of ease us all into this spooky morning that we're gonna have together here. So this is there was a story that I read yesterday that unfortunately my mic was muted for because I was a foolish bear. I'm not a bear. I just dress like one. I swear. I'm not gonna read that again today. I'll read that again at some point. Instead, I'm going to read something new, though. It's a 3-part series. I'm not going to read the whole thing this time. I'm going to split it up between a few streams. But we'll read the first part, at least, today. If it's really engaging, maybe we'll read the second. We'll see. Stream still says Dead by Daylight. I know. I'm gonna play Dead by Daylight. I'm going to. I'm just going to read first. What can I say? Bish your stream category. Whoa, what's wrong with my stream category? What's wrong with it, Aiden? I'm gonna be playing Dead by Daylight just momentarily. Are you saying that I should be starting in just chatting and then moving into Dead by Daylight from there so I'm not lying to people? Oh no. Oh no, I'm such a horrible man. I can't believe I've done this. I'm fooling all these lovely folks into thinking that I'm playing video games right now when in reality I'm just rambling and bambling and babbling. On tangents, I'm messing with you. Thanks, I appreciate it. I appreciate the being messed with. It makes me feel loved and appreciated myself. So let us dive in, perhaps. How are you doing today, Aiden? Good morning. Pleasure to have you here again. I hope you're having a lovely morning. Do any of y'all have any tea or coffee or water or... I know some people drink soda in the morning or energy drinks. What's your beverage of choice for the morning? Do you like juice? Do you like tea? Do you like milk? What do you got? What do you got going for you? Let me know. And in the meantime, while I'm waiting for that, I can begin this. It is entitled, When We Turn 18, We Get the Name of Our Soulmate. I was young when I realized that the place I lived was special. I didn't realize it at first, since I had lived there my whole life. I thought it was normal for a city to not allow pets. I grew up never hearing the sounds of barking dogs or hissing cats. No one that lived inside the city border was allowed to have them. I thought it was normal for cities to have mandatory blood testing every week, with no explanation or seemingly any reason. I thought it was normal for cities to not have any jails. I thought it was normal for cities to give their citizens soulmates. I never really understood how it worked. All that we were told was that there were the matchmakers, who were responsible for making the matches and sending out the tiny slips of paper that determined each citizen's love life and future. No one ever saw the matchmakers. No one knew how they were recruited. No one knew how they worked. All anyone knew was that it worked. Where I lived, there has never been a filing for divorce. The matchmakers are never wrong. Each citizen received their paper on their 18th birthday. Inside the piece of paper, there was nothing except a name. The name of your supposed soulmate. There was no telling how you would come across this person, no when or how. All anyone knew was that it would eventually happen. We were allowed to tell other people, allowed to ask around, to try and seek out people that had the same name as the one on the paper, but it didn't matter. It couldn't be forced. Of course, literal eternal love and happiness does not come without rules. Every citizen had to follow the rules. They weren't too strange, and seemed like a small price to pay for what you were getting in return. Most of the rules were simple. To name a few, there was no going outside, under any circumstances, after 2 a.m. No pets, blood tests, etc. There were also rules that we weren't allowed to know until we were older. We got the new rules on our 18th birthday, the same day we got our matchmaker paper. We called them slips. As I got older, I realized that our city was special, and that other cities didn't have what we had. But I didn't care. Life was good. life seemed simple. Our city was like a little paradise. It was happy. It was without issue. It was the night before my 18th birthday, and I couldn't sleep. This was to be expected, since knowing that next morning you would know the name of your literal soulmate was enough to keep anyone up late. Usually, I wouldn't have believed in such things like soulmates, especially as I got older, but it was hard to argue with evidence. My parents had gotten married in their late 20s, and have stayed happily married ever since, both of their names matching what was on their slips. My older sister, Caitlin, got her slip last year, and though she's been through her fair share of failed relationships, she's currently in a happy one with some guy named Roger. I don't think I need to tell you the name that was on her slip. I wished Caitlin still lived with us. We used to share a room, but ever since she moved out, it feels empty with just me in it. By some miracle, I eventually fell asleep. My brain finally exhausted after hours of wondering what tomorrow was going to bring. I woke up the next morning, my arm groping for my alarm to turn it off, just like any other day. It wasn't until I sleepily sat up that I realized that today wasn't like any other day. I swung my legs out of bed, my heart pounding in my chest as I tried to compose myself. I wanted to put on a shirt and shorts as fast as possible, rush to the kitchen to get the envelope I knew would be addressed to me, but I didn't. I didn't want to be one of those people whose entire lives suddenly revolved around trying to find their soulmate. I needed to be calm. Taking a few even breaths, I slowly put on a shirt and some basketball shorts before opening my door. Chatter and the smell of waffles hit my senses instantly as I stepped out of my room. Turning the corner, I stopped, grinning. "Caitlin," I said, unable to contain my excitement at seeing her. Reaching her in a few short steps, I wrapped my arms around her in a hug, to which she enthusiastically returned. "What are you doing here?" I said, pulling myself away to look at her. "Oh, you seriously thought I would miss your birthday? Get real," she said, matching my grin as she looked at me. "Damn, you got tall," she said, looking at me.
"He got it from his old man," my dad chimed in, and Caitlin rolled her eyes. Besides my height, I got a lot from my dad. I got his warm brown eyes, and I got his wavy, dirty blonde hair that I had always kept medium length. I looked so much like my dad that my mom always chimed in saying how I got her nose and smile. "Damn, you got tall?" "That's right, Feather, he got tall as fuck. He's probably like at least 5'5". Can you believe it? Man, we love a tall king." That's what we say, right?
"Happy birthday, hon," my mom said from the counter, giving me a soft smile. "These are almost done, and we'll go out for your birthday dinner later tonight," she said, gesturing at the waffles, and I smiled.
"Birthday waffles for the birthday boy," my dad chimed in, putting an arm around my mom, and the simple movement made me remember something I forgot in the midst of the excitement.
Is it here?" I asked them, trying to keep my voice even. My sister nodded, understanding what I was talking about. "On the front table." My legs felt like rubber as I walked a few steps into the hallway, instantly seeing the stark white envelope on the table. I picked it up. "Deliver to Theodore Shillings." I walked back to the kitchen, all eyes on me as I turned the envelope over, trying to act calm, act normal. I opened the envelope, pulling out 2 pieces of paper. One of them I knew would be the new rules. The other one was my slip. I looked at the bigger paper first.
"To people registered as 18 years or older, the following rules will come into effect. Under no circumstances is anyone 18 years or older permitted in city waters. This includes all local rivers within city limits. Under no circumstances will anyone 18 years or older be allowed to watch the television on the 14th of every month. Under no circumstances is anyone 18 years or older permitted to use faucets after 12 a.m. This includes sinks, bathtubs, and showers.
Under no circumstances is anyone 18 years or older permitted to use any kind of elevator after 9 p.m. Under no circumstances is anyone 18 years or older permitted to share their rules with people under the age of 18. And that was it. I honestly expected more, but was relieved there wasn't too many that I would have to memorize. They were weird, sure, but nothing that I wouldn't be able to do. After rereading the new rules, I put the paper down, heart hammering as I took my slip. Wanting to get it over with, I opened it, to which a single name was printed. Avery. I read and reread the name several times. Avery. 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 I racked my brain for people I knew named Avery. There was a girl in my history class, and maybe one who I had pre-calc with a few years ago. Before I could wonder further, Catelyn's voice cut me off. "What's the name?" she said, to which I handed it to her. It passed from her to my mother, then my father.
Avery. Nice name, my dad said, handing my slip back to me.
Chatter resumed between my parents and Catelyn while my mind was whirring. Some things made more sense now, like why I never saw adults kayaking in the river like I saw them do in other cities. I had told myself for a long time that once I got my slip, that I wouldn't focus too much on it. But my mind kept coming back to the name that was burned into my mind. Avery. I still had to go to school, and got ready while Catelyn went out to reconnect with some high school friends. I ignored my texts asking what the name on my slip was, preferring to have that conversation in person. My friends were waiting for me at the bus stop eagerly. There was Jennifer, who was usually pretty quiet, and who I'd known since preschool. There was Joseph, who was a bit of a daredevil and a jock who I'd met during my freshman year. Lastly, there was Charles and Sophia, twins who were never separated and who I'd bonded with sophomore year over our love for horror movies. Looking at us as a group looked weird, but we worked and had fun with each other. I was bombarded with the same question as I got close to them. "Whose name did you get?" "Avery," I said, the first time I had actually said the name. It sounded nice, coming out of my mouth. It sounded right. My friends nodded, followed by a moment of silence that meant that they were all trying to think of Averys that we knew.
"Isn't there a chick in your history class named Avery?" Joseph offered, and I nodded.
"Yeah, I'm trying not to think about it too much. I don't want to become one of those people who become obsessed with it," I said, although the name was really all I could think about. My friends dropped it after that, all except Joseph. He would chime in every few minutes, rattling off girls that he knew, all with the name Avery. He was still talking about it as the bus came, and as we walked up to the school, he really didn't have an off button, which meant that I was left to try and tune him out, nodding my head in agreement every few minutes. As the school day went on, I couldn't help but wonder if each Avery I came across was my soulmate. Somehow, though, none of the girls I came across felt right. Everything else aside, the school day went pretty smoothly. People wished me happy birthday in the halls, occasionally asking me who I got on my slip. After school, I still had time before I had to head home and start work on homework. So as usual, I met outside the school with my friends. The day had gotten progressively hotter as it went on, and by the time school was out, it had reached the point of uncomfort. Most of my friends were already waiting for me, and as I got closer, they were already in conversation.
"Balls hot, man. We should go claim a spot by the river before it gets too crowded," Joseph was saying, to which my other friends nodded in agreement. The river he was referring to was the biggest in the city, almost cutting it in half. It was a popular hangout spot, and my friends and I had been going there for ages. But now, my throat felt tight. None of my friends had turned 18 yet, since I had an extra year of preschool when I was a kid. They didn't know the new rules. One of the rules said I wasn't allowed to tell them. Did that mean I also couldn't hint at it? "I'm not sure if I'm feeling the river today," I said, trying to sound as nonchalant as possible. Are you crazy? It's like 90 degrees out here," Jennifer said, raising her eyebrows. Not wanting to act suspicious, I decided that I would go, but I wouldn't go in under any circumstances. "Alright, let's go, but I can't stay long. I have my birthday dinner with Catelyn and my parents," I said, to which Joseph pumped his fist. Relieved that none of them seemed to suspect anything, we set off towards the river.
There were a couple other families there, with kids playing in the shallow water and the parents sitting safely on the edge. I took a few even breaths to remind myself that I was fine and that I would stay on the shore. Jennifer and Joseph were the first to the river, instantly pulling up their jeans and taking off their socks and shoes as they dipped them into the water, sighing with the relief that the cool water provided from the hot weather. I desperately wanted to be there with them, swimming in the river and enjoying the nice weather, but the rules were very clear. I sighed, sitting down a few feet away from the water, my legs out in front of me, watching as my friends splashed each other with the water. I just had to hold out until they had their birthdays, and then I wouldn't have to make excuses. I could handle a few more months. "Oi, come on, birthday boy, get in the water," Charles yelled, splashing water in my direction as he was ankle deep in it, a few feet away from where it dropped off into deeper waters. I smiled, shaking my head as I adjusted my legs to make myself more comfortable. "Nah, I'll be the one to drive you guys to the hospital when you get hypothermia," I yelled back, to which I could see his eyes roll from here. "Oh, we can't have that," Joseph called, wading back to where I was. "I command the birthday boy to get hypothermia with the rest of us," Joseph said, smirking as he approached me. I felt a trickle of unease as he approached me. I stood up to move away, but just then he swooped down and picked me up over his shoulder. Joseph played for the football team, and I always admired his strength, but this was the first time I was afraid of it. "Joseph, stop! Put me down!" I yelled, panic rising in my voice, struggling to escape his arms as he was carrying me to the water. My heart pounded wildly in my chest as a rising fear crept up my throat. He outmatched me in size and strength, and my struggles were fruitless. "I'm serious, Joseph! Put me the fuck down!" I yelled, to which he gave a little laugh. "You're always so serious, Theo. Loosen up. Live a little," he replied, and I could see he was in the water now, wading further in. I looked at my friends, wide-eyed, but they were giggling like it was a joke. They had no idea. As he got closer to the drop-off, I struggled harder, hitting him on the shoulders. I wasn't weak by any standards, but Joseph was built like an ox, almost all muscle. Fear closed my throat so tightly I couldn't breathe. "Come on, everyone in the water," he said, motioning with his head to my friends, who obliged, standing on the edge of the drop. "All right, on 3, we'll all jump in together." He put his hands on my waist, and I knew what was coming. 1, 2, he started, rocking back and forth. "Joseph, stop! Stop!" I yelled, punching him harder, but it didn't make any difference. 3! I heard the splashes of my friends jumping in, just as I was launched a few feet into the air. I didn't know what to expect. Dude needs new friends? It's hard to say. Obviously, they should probably be listening to him and following along with what he's saying, especially if he's got this much panic and this much fervor in what he's saying. But, you know, friends fuck around sometimes. Maybe this is something they've done before, and they all seem to get along together, but we'll see how this plays out, won't we? I shut my eyes tightly as images rapidly flashed through my mind. I saw myself at my 9th birthday party, saw myself applauding at Caitlin's graduation. Rapid images throughout my life flashed before me. Was my life flashing before my eyes? It felt like an eternity before I hit the water. Nothing could have prepared me for what happened next. I hit the water hard, the cold water stinging every part of my body. The wind knocked out of me, but since nothing else happened immediately, I thought, fleetingly, that I was fine. I was wrong. It felt like a giant vacuum was at the bottom of the river, sucking me towards it. I thrashed in the water, desperately trying anything to prevent myself from getting sucked deeper. I had been swimming in the deep part of the river before, and one summer my friends and I actually measured how deep it was, and I knew well enough that I was being pulled far beyond that. I was running out of air, and my panicked state wasn't helping the situation. Whatever was down there started to pull me faster, as if whatever it was could sense my desperation. My chest felt tight, as I could no longer hold my breath. My body started to go limp when suddenly I was falling. I was no longer in water, and I took a gasp of breath, sputtering out the water that had managed to get in my mouth from my surprise. I was so relieved to be breathing again that it took me a minute to realize I was falling, rapidly through the air. Darkness surrounded me, and through my confused, dazed state, I couldn't make out what was around me. A few seconds later, for the second time during the day, my body hit water, again, hard. Once again, I had the wind knocked out of me, and I could feel myself sinking. I couldn't move, I couldn't breathe. I didn't have the energy to panic. My eyes closed. I didn't know what I was supposed to think about. I didn't want my last thoughts before death to be wasted. It was during these last thoughts that suddenly, something pulled me away from them. Literally. I could feel something grabbing the back of my shirt, pulling me upwards, towards the surface.
Confusion swept me as a moment later I felt myself being heaved out of the water and being roughly set down on something hard, something solid. I gasped, coughing and sputtering as water dripped off of me. I shakily pushed myself onto my hands and knees, trying to get my breathing under control, my thoughts moving at the speed of light. I felt oddly lightheaded, my body drained and exhausted. I wanted to look around for my savior, but I couldn't. My vision had started to go black as my exhausted body finally collapsed. Someone was shaking me awake. My first fleeting thought that it was my mom, telling me I was going to be late for school. Then I remembered. It was just a dream, I told myself. Just a dream. You'll open your eyes and mom is going to wish you a happy birthday, tell you you're going to be late for school. Someone shook me harder. I opened my eyes. It was not my mom. It was a boy who looked around my age with dark, messy hair, and who was looking at me with two dark blue, concerned eyes, who looked relieved as I opened my eyes. "Good, you're awake. Come on, we need to move," he said quickly, looking behind him. Confusion clouded my mind. Who are you, and where am I?" I said, trying to keep the fear out of my voice. The boy looked back at me. "My name is Avery. I can explain everything later, but we really have to go." My breath caught in my throat. Avery. 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 Oh shit. I knew it! I knew it was gonna be gay! Hell yes! Fucking game. We gaming today, boys! Let's go! Fucking gamers! Gamer! Yeah. We gay today! We gay today! Where my gay boys at? Where my gay boys at? Woo! Alright. I'm interested to see where this goes, but I've already spent 30 minutes reading, and I don't think I should waste too much more time. Perhaps I will slip back into this after a few games and read part 2 so we can see how gay this gets. Alright. But for now, perhaps it's about time that I get into a real gamer. Based but gamer. Oh, hold on. This hat. Gotta keep the hat on. It's a little big. There we go. No, I was so enraptured. Oh, I'm sorry, Feather. Would you like me to read part 2? I could get around to it since here, hold on. Let me just pop back in. All right, fuck it. We're gaying tonight. We're gonna be gay. No, don't worry about it. No. You said it. You're interested in hearing what's happening. I'm interested in hearing what's gonna happen. Let's find out. We're gonna keep reading for a while longer. Then we'll play some games in a moment. Wait, no, I don't want to ruin your plans. You think I have plans, Feather? My plans involve me being here for like the next 8 to 9 hours. Sweet new mommy, more reading. Okay, see, we got a couple people here. Everybody wants the gay, so we're going in. Hold on, we're going gay. Also, hello, sweet new mommy. Pleasure to see you here again. I hope you're having a lovely morning. Thanks for stopping by. How are you doing today? You just trying to be funny on Twitter still? Love that for you. Let us continue reading with When We Turn 18, We Get the Name of Our Soulmate, Part 2. In school, we had learned about the 5 stages of grief. The stages come into effect whenever a person experiences something unpleasant. This can mean a variety of things, from losing a loved one or going through a traumatic experience. Your brain goes through these 5 stages to protect you, to help you cope. It's almost 4 p.m. still not funny, but trying. Oh, well, I hope you had a lovely day so far then. You got some late evening going for you, or early afternoon, I suppose. No, wow, I fucked that up. I meant early evening, late afternoon. Man, I haven't slept in like 3 years. Don't worry about it. But I hope you had a lovely day so far, and I'm happy that I can provide you with some reading entertainment here for your late afternoon as it begins. But it's okay if you're not funny yet. Neither am I. We can just keep striving. Actually, I'm hilarious. I'm the funniest person in the world. But only sometimes, and only to some people in particular sects and particular jokes. But don't worry, I believe in you. I think you're funny. You're very sweet and umami and funny as hell. I can't speak, but you know what I can do? I can read. The first is shock and denial. People usually experience numbness, both physically and emotionally. It's typical for people in this stage to ask repeated questions. More often, questions that they already know the answer to, but that their brain refuses to believe. I was no exception. The dark-haired boy was still speaking, although his words landed on deaf ears, for the person he was trying to talk to was currently going through the first stage of grief. Your name is Avery, I interrupted, my voice quiet, but cutting as I pushed myself up into a sitting position, feeling uncomfortable laying on my back. The boy looked at me, exasperated and annoyed as he realized that this was the only piece of information I gleaned from his words. Yes, my name is Avery. Did you get any of what I just said? He asked as his eyebrows furrowed, irritation leaking into his voice. An embarrassed flush crept up my face as I dropped my eyes. Some of it? I mumbled, my face so hot that I was sure that he could feel the heat radiating off of me. I could hear the small sigh that he made, followed by rustling. I took a chance and looked up, where I saw Avery rustling around in a black bag for something. I haven't slept either, so this is really nice to chill in bed and just snooze away with. Alright. Love that for you. Excuse me, I just need to take a little sip of my tea here. Absolutely love that for you. I'm glad that I can be something soothing and snoozing for you to chill and relax with while you lie in bed. That is all I can really hope for. I mean, I can hope for a lot of things, and I do hope for a lot of things, and I strive for a lot of things. I have that drive for a lot of things. I'm greedy, but that's at least one thing, one small thing that fills my heart a little bit, makes me feel a little warm and cozy, and I hope you also feel warm and cozy tonight. Look, I know this is confusing. I'll explain everything later, but right now, there's no time. We already made too much noise, he said hurriedly with another paranoid glance over his shoulder. Looking back, he finally removed 2 things from his bag. You're gonna need this, put it on, he said, tossing one to me. I caught it, turning it over in my hands as confusion etched onto my face. It looked like a mask, but with no holes for the eyes or mouth, or a strap at the back. It was stark black and weirdly smooth, made of a material I didn't recognize. What is this? I started to ask, but his voice cut me off. Do you trust me? He said suddenly, his dark blue eyes pressing into mine. I swallowed. Thoughts raced across my mind as I tried to sort through them. There was no time for logic, not now. My dad had always told me to be logical and think with my head instead of my heart. I was trying so hard to listen to my head, but my heart was louder. Yes, I said quietly, so softly that I thought he wouldn't hear me. But the relieved expression that washed over his face told me that he did. Then please, put the damn thing on. Questions later, he said softly, some of the impatience leaving his voice. Without another word, I held my breath and put the mask-like thing up to my face. It was one of the oddest experiences I had ever felt. I felt like a suction cup attaching itself to my face. So tightly, it was as if the mask was merging with my face. The no holes for the eyes or mouth proved not to be an issue, since I got to breathe perfectly fine, almost as if it wasn't on at all. I looked up to see if Avery had his on, and when I looked up, I had to stifle a gasp. It was like his face had completely disappeared. A black oval where his face should have been. Excuse me, I just need to drink something quick. My mouth is a little dry this morning. But it's fine this morning. It was beyond unnerving, merely looking at it sending a chill throughout my body. Is that what it looked like on me? Ready? He asked, seeing I had put it on. Hearing him speak without seeing his mouth was creeping me out, but I didn't say anything and instead just nodded. They call it hydration, not low-dration. Drink. Thank you for the hydration, Feather. Much appreciated. You're always there to help me with everything I need. So much support and comfort. Love that. Thank you. Love you. Where was I? He extended a hand out, seeing that I was still on the ground. I hesitated for only a fraction of a second before I took his hand, letting him pull me to my feet. As soon as my hand touched his, I felt a shot of warmth, startling me slightly but leaving me as soon as he let go. Stay with me, and stay quiet, he said softly, swinging his bag back onto his back, turning to start walking. As I started to follow him, I looked up, at last trying to get a picture of my surroundings, to hopefully get some information to where the hell I was. I was not prepared for what I saw. It was the city. I tried to keep walking so as to not get too far behind Avery, but my eyes were glued to the sight in front of me. It couldn't be, could it? My thoughts were racing, and to confirm, I looked behind me. The body of water that Avery had just pulled me out of was the very same one that I had gotten thrown into in the first place. My heart was pounding as I looked around me. It was an exact replica of the city, but it was distorted. Every building was drained of color, almost everything in sight being a different shade of black or gray. On top of this, every few seconds something would glitch, like a lagging video game, like the holograms that were in movies. Something wasn't right. You could feel it everywhere you looked, a sickening sense of unease, of dread with every washed-out, colorless building that we passed. I quickened my pace to get closer to Avery. I didn't know where we were going, since we were going into the west part of the city, which I wasn't too familiar with. All my life, I had everything I needed fairly close to where I lived, so there wasn't really any reason to explore. I know that Avery told me not to ask questions, but I wanted to know where we were going, if I was going to need anything to protect myself with, since the feeling that I was being watched hadn't gone away since I arrived in this fucked up dystopia. I silently walked faster, until I was next to him. Maybe it was the fact that I had my slip on my mind, but as I got closer I could feel my heart start thumping uncomfortably against my chest. Avery, I asked softly, trying to keep my voice low. He glanced at me, and I cringed as I remembered that we still had the black masks on. Yeah? He replied, matching my quiet voice. I know you said not to ask questions, but where are we going? I asked. He glanced around before lowering his head to speak. My place, where I lived before I came here. I've been using it as sort of a safe house. We don't have to keep our voices down there, and I can explain everything, he said quickly and quietly. Just as he finished speaking, a loud thump came from in front of us, startling me as a black, distorted figure came out from a glitching convenience store. It looked like a man, but his face didn't have any features. His face looked oddly like the black ovals that our faces now resembled because of the masks. My heart stopped in my chest as Avery grabbed my arm to stop me from walking. Don't look at him, Avery whispered feverishly into my ear. He's lost. The distorted man had an uneven gait, almost limping. As he got closer, I could see that his black body was glitching like everything else in this fucked up place. I quickly looked down as Avery instructed, trying to keep my breathing in control. I felt Avery's hand tighten on my arm as the thing got closer to us, and as it got closer, I could hear it mumbling incoherently. It continued to get closer, so close that I could feel its presence with every fiber of my being. It was beyond uncomfortable, but staying true to Avery's instructions, I didn't make a sound. The next few minutes felt like an eternity before Avery looked up and looked behind us, letting out a small sigh of relief as his grip loosened on my arm, before letting go. Come on, we have to hurry, he mumbled, starting to walk again, faster than we were before. Neither of us said anything for a while. As we walked, I was left to my own thoughts, as my brain was trying to make sense of everything that had happened to me. I thought about my family, an internal ache spreading through me as I tried to imagine what they would be feeling when I didn't come home. I stewed on this for a while, before the surge of anger washed through me. This wasn't even my fault. Fucking Joseph was the one who thought I needed to live a little more, who decided it would be a grand idea to chuck me into the river. Fucking Joseph. I forgot to mention that the second and third stages of grief are pain and anger. With all of these thoughts running around through my head, there was still one that I had refused to acknowledge. Getting a person of the same gender on your slip wasn't unheard of, and actually happened pretty often. I just never thought I would be one of those people. I suppose having matchmakers made us blind. With the promise of a soulmate, you never really had to think or worry about your sexuality or relationships. You knew that someone else was out there, figuring it out for you. It was uncomfortable to think about how people you've never even met know more about your own sexuality before you even do, before you even had a chance to figure it out. I actually shook my head, trying to chase away these thoughts. It was ridiculous. I would know if I liked guys, right? I didn't have time to dive deeper into these thoughts. "We're here," a soft voice said, bringing me away from my thoughts. I looked up at where we were. It was one of those houses that was small and cramped, on a street where it seemed like the builders were trying to find out how many houses they could fit into it. It looked fairly normal, and I expect it would have looked better if it had, color. Avery opened the door, beckoning me inside quickly, shutting the door behind us. I looked around, finding a surprisingly neat interior, with bookshelves and couches like any normal house would. Looking around, I was relieved to notice that nothing in here was glitching around like outside, even if it was still colorless. The only odd thing was that there was an empty space in the middle of the living room, like someone had taken away the table, but left the couches. "You're gay, Jimbo." "Sorry to say it, Jimbo, but you gay. Get ready. We fucking tonight." "It's not the nicest, but it's home," Avery said, to which I turned to look at him. Before I could reply, he put a hand to his face, starting to peel his mask off from the bottom. "We can take these off, but keep yours close by," he said, peeling his own off and setting it on the closest couch. I put my own hand to my face, fleetingly wondering if mine would come off, since it felt like it wasn't even there anymore. To my great relief, I was able to feel it, and copied what Avery had done, peeling it off from the bottom, which came off with surprising ease. I set it down on the table next to me, working up the courage to speak. I had opened my mouth to speak when Avery broke the silence first. "So, I guess you have a few questions," he said with a small sigh, still standing. I said nothing, instead nodding and gingerly sitting on the edge of the couch next to me. "I don't even know where to start," he mumbled to himself, eyebrows knitting together as he started to pace. Courage bubbled up, making its way to my throat. "How did you end up here?" I asked, making him look up, his face relaxing as if he was relieved to have somewhere solid to start his explanation. "Well, I broke a rule," he said with a sigh. I said nothing, fully prepared to not speak until he was done. The thirst for information, it's not the only kind of thirst he's feeling, am I right, gamers? For an explanation was too great. Luckily for me, Avery picked up on it, and he continued. "It was the TV rule, the one where he can't watch on the first 14th of every month. I was such an idiot," he said, shaking his head as he resumed his pacing. "I got pulled through. It happened so fast. I was sitting on that couch, actually." He gestured to the one I was sitting on with a tight smile. "I turned it on, and it was just static. I realized then what I had done. Before I could fix my mistake, something was coming out of it, something solid. It grabbed my shirt and pulled me through into the TV, where I landed here. I thought nothing had happened since I was still in my house, until I realized that I wasn't," he said, his voice starting to get heavy. He paused, and he didn't need to say any more. It was perhaps a combination of sympathy or curiosity that was too overwhelming for me to stay quiet. "What is this place?" I asked quietly. Avery gave out a small sigh, coming around to sit on a chair opposite to where I was sitting. "I don't know what to call it. As you saw, it's an exact replica of where we lived. I've explored, and every detail is exactly as it is in the real world, but with obvious differences," he said before meeting my eyes. He seemed to know what question I wanted to ask next. "Ever wonder why we don't have jails?" he asked softly. He didn't wait for my answer. "I call them the lost ones. The people that get thrown in here. They lose themselves after a while. They turn into what you saw on the way here, altered versions of themselves. No identity, no remnants of their past selves. They're hostile, angered, and are capable of much more than you could ever imagine." I swallowed. "This is the jail that we never had up there, made for the rule breakers and people who threaten their precious utopia. They get left here, left to waste away to spend the rest of eternity here," he said bitterly. "They're nightmares, beings of their worst possible selves that have no feelings, no nothing. They are fueled off of their worst qualities and are trapped in their own heads." This time, it was Avery that swallowed. "As far as I can tell, they don't care who gets trapped here, Even the people who break rules by accident, although the actual criminals they deliver personally down here, he said with a sigh. The weight of the situation was pressing on me, so hard that I was having a hard time breathing. There has to be a way out, right? I asked breathlessly. To my immense relief, Avery nodded. There is, but it takes 2 people. I can't tell you how long I've been waiting for someone down here, he said softly. I felt a pang of sympathy. How long have you been down here? I asked, and he shrugged. A couple months, maybe? There's no way to tell down here. I tried keeping track by writing on the walls, but they would disappear the next day, he said with a sigh. How do we get out of here? I asked, my voice gaining confidence the longer I spent in his presence. The same way that they get the criminals in here. It's at the center of the city, and looks like an archway. The doors they use is password protected, and I've been watching whenever they bring someone new down here, and I know it. The only problem is, it seems to be a popular hangout spot for the people who are lost, he said heavily. The masks that I had put on are to blend in with them, but it only goes so far, and only really works when there's a few of them around. I didn't want to ask how he managed to get those masks. There's a way to kill them, but they still outnumber me, which is why I needed a second person. You don't need to eat or drink down here, but you can still get hurt, he said, lifting his sleeve to reveal 2 long, deep gashes that were in the process of healing. I suppressed a shiver. This new information spun around my head. I felt slightly sick. I knew then that I couldn't stay here. I needed to get out. I couldn't let myself become lost. I'll do it. Whatever it takes, I don't care. I'll help, I said, breaking the silence, my voice confident. Avery looked up at me, with an expression I couldn't place. It looked like newfound respect, like he was just noticing me for the first time. He studied me for a moment before nodding. I'll keep you safe. I won't let anything happen to you. I thought of making a smart-ass reply, but he seemed so genuine about it that I kept my mouth shut. It was then, sitting there with no immediate danger nearby, that I started to feel the weight of the day starting to press in around me. I tried to cover up a yawn with my hand, but Avery caught it. He stood up, running a hand through his hair. Shit, sorry. You must be exhausted. I wasn't even thinking about that. I've been sleeping down here, he said, gesturing to the empty space in the room. But I can make up a place to sleep upstairs if you... I don't, I interrupted suddenly, to which Avery raised his eyebrows. I felt a hot flush rising in my cheeks as I continued. I mean, if it's okay, I'd feel more comfortable staying down here, I said quietly, averting my eyes. There was a pause, which was enough time for me to feel greatly embarrassed by my words. He doesn't want you down here, idiot. He doesn't even know you. He doesn't... Sure, if it makes you more comfortable. I'm more than happy to set up a space here for you, he said finally, giving me a small smile. I'll be right back. Holler if you need anything, he said, turning to leave before stopping as if remembering something. Oh, I read enough fan fiction. Let's go. Where is this gonna happen? Oh my god, it's actually gay. Oh god, it's gay. We're getting gay here. Let's go. Let's fucking go. We love our good gay boys and girls. But here we got some gay boys. Let's find out what happens. Even as a man who is tragically heterosexual, fully support and love my gay boys and girls. Let's go. Is this gonna get spicy? Let's see what happens. Oh. I never got your name. Forgot to ask, he said sheepishly. Stumbling slightly over his words, seemingly having a hard time meeting my eyes. My heart seemed to stop just as my mind started to race. Charles, I said suddenly, the name and the lie slipping out easily. I'm not sure if it was just my imagination, but did Avery look slightly crestfallen? It must have been, because the next second the look disappeared, and he gave me another small smile. Pleasure to meet you, Charles. As soon as he left the room, I slumped down on the couch, putting my head in my hands. Why had I lied? I knew the answer. It was really just a matter of wanting to answer it. No! What are you doing? Theodore, get your head out of your ass! Get that gay boy for your own. Claim him. He wants you and you want him. You know it. You know it to be true. This must be a spooky story, right? Boy. Boy. Give me the gay. Give me the gay. Boy. All right. I swear, we're reading scary stories here. We're not reading gay fan fiction. It's fine. Wait, was this on No Sleep? Oops, caps. Yes, this is No Sleep. This is a spooky story. I'm reading creepypastas here. We're getting so gay, though. I don't understand what's happening. It's gonna get creepy, I promise. I don't know. Let's find out. We getting gared tonight? Get it? It's like scared, but gared. Okay, well, this is the best No Sleep story I've ever seen. No, we need the gay. Not gonna lie, I normally greatly dislike all the stories I read there. Yeah, there's a lot of variance in quality. I've been going there a lot because it's really easy to just kind of hop around and find a story to read quickly, whereas on like the actual creepypasta website, there's a lot of I feel like it's almost more varied on the creepypasta website, because there's some things that are just very short and very not so great, and there's some that are very long, very okay. But it's a little more difficult to navigate that than it is No Sleep. If you have any suggestions for other creepypasta websites to find, absolutely send them my way. I'll take a peek at them, because I love reading these shits. Can't believe I'm playing Dead by Daylight. Bye, Daylight. Wait. Hold on. Everybody hold on to your butts. Hold on to your fucking butts. We are going to be playing a video game after this. We're going to be playing Dead by GAYLIGHT by GAYLIGHT. By GAYLIGHT. SCPs, you know what? You make a very good point. I love SCPs, and those would be a delight to read. I'm definitely gonna throw some SCPs in here at some point. That's a good idea. I love SCPs. Holy shit! Why didn't I think about that? Hell yeah, GAYLIGHT. All right. I gotta get back to the story. We gotta find out what's gonna happen. What gay is gonna happen? Please ping me when you ever read SCPs. Will do. Absolutely. I will let you know. I forgot my caps on multiple times. That is something I do all the fucking time. As you're familiar with, because when we're playing Dungeons and Dragons, caps lock is my push to talk button. And so I'll often have that on caps, and I'll type something, and I'll see that I'm in caps, but I won't fix it. I'll just say, oops, caps lock. It's a classic. Everybody loves it. All right. Let's get back to the gay. Oh no. Oops, lol, wish I'd thought of SCP readings before we gave you the idea. How long should I hold my butt? You can hold your butt as long as you'd like. You don't need to anymore. Now it's just by choice. I myself am just giving it a little squeeze every once in a while, because I think I mentioned, I don't know if any of you were here when I mentioned that I did leg day 2 days ago, and my glutes are still relatively sore, so give it a little squeeze, a little massage every once in a while to kind of get some of that feeling in there. Get a little pleasant massage for my own booty. But yeah, I love SCPs. I've read tons of those. In fact, I have a bookmark on my browser of SCPs that I want to read that I haven't gotten around to yet. So yeah, that's a great idea. Why didn't I do that? I'll read more SCPs in the future. But now, for now, gay time. All right, where is it? I could say that it was because I didn't trust Avery, but that wasn't the truth. There were so many different kinds of confusion, so many different kinds of pain. I was tired of being the one who felt it all. I was just tired in general. Gay time? It was disorienting. To have your entire life flipped upside down in a matter of moments. Everything that you thought you knew to be untrue, or covered with layers of deception to keep people in a mindless bliss. I suppose that even though people could feel certainty, it was an emotion, not a fact. My thoughts kept me busy until Avery came back, arms laden with blankets and pillows. He set them down in the empty space, starting to arrange them. "Do you need help?" I asked, wanting to feel at least a little useful. He shook his head as he straightened up. "I'm just about done. Is this enough? I can get more stuff if you want," he said, looking up at me, the genuine interest and caring in his eyes startling me. I shook my head, giving a tight smile. "It's great, really. Thank you," I said, crossing over to where it was. It looked like 2 bedspreads, placed slightly far apart, but still within the empty space. I chose the one on the right. I had to get some stuff ready for tomorrow, but I'll just be in the next room. I'll come to sleep in a while. Just give me a call if you need anything, alright? He said, and I nodded. Exhaustion was quickly catching up to me, and I tried to get myself comfortable on the spread of blankets and pillows. Just as Avery was about to leave the room, I spoke. I don't usually do it, but if I start snoring, I give you complete permission to smack me. I said this quietly, but based on the way he stopped and turned back around, I knew Avery had heard me. Noted, he said, but there was something different about his voice. As I looked at him, I saw that he was smiling. Not a tight smile, or a small one, but an actual, genuine smile that made my entire body feel warm. It was perhaps the most beautiful thing I had ever seen. No, not far apart. Oh yeah, smack me. Smack me, daddy. You gotta start far apart so that as you get closer, it means so much more. I had never been a lucid dreamer. I'd heard about it, and even studied it a bit in school, so I knew how to recognize it. Lucid dreaming is a dream in which your body knows that you're dreaming, and gives you the steering wheel for a bit, allowing you to be conscious and aware while dreaming. I was currently experiencing this strange phenomenon. I wasn't entirely sure where I was. I knew I was dreaming, however, since I was fairly confident that in order to be walking, you had to be walking on something solid, I appeared to be walking on water. Looking around, everything was black. It looked like I was standing on a lake, but the water stretched on as far as I could see. The water rippled underneath my feet with every step I took, and looking down, I couldn't see the bottom of whatever kind of water I was standing on. Just more darkness. I wasn't sure how long I stood there until I saw a figure in the distance. I squinted, waiting for it to come closer. When it got closer, however, my body seized with panic. Are we sure it isn't a gay prom? It's hard to say. I don't really know what's going on. We'll find out some way, somehow, I guess. This story it's weaving for us. I didn't expect it to go this way, but I'm here for it, and we're going to find out today what's going to happen. We're going all the way in. It was the man from the convenience store. The one without a face. The one that Avery said was lost. I turned to run, but I couldn't. Dread and fear was washing over me as I desperately tried to get my feet to move. The man was getting closer. My feet seemed glued to the surface. The screams I meant to yell died in my throat as I saw the man, now only a few feet from me, as my screams were silenced by the paralyzing fear that rendered me immobile. Instead of the muttering I had heard from him earlier, he was eerily silent. The only sound I could hear was my own heart beat hammering against my chest. Suddenly, the man's face started to change. Instead of a black oval, white lines started to run from near the bottom, and after a few moments I realized that it was making a manic, demented smile. It came closer, its unnaturally long fingers closing on my shirt and pulling me closer. Its other hand drew back, transforming into something that I couldn't name, I couldn't place, but looked very, very sharp. I only had a second to look at it before it plunged into my stomach, letting loose pain that I had never felt in my life. Among the screams and yells I had been holding in my throat, it felt as if every fiber of my being, every atom was being ripped apart. My eyes were wide with shock as the smile remained on the man's face. I couldn't talk. I couldn't breathe. Looking down, I saw a bloom of red starting to quickly spread throughout my shirt, so much more vibrant in contrast to the blank, colorless surroundings. I woke up, gasping, shaking, a hand clutching my stomach as if the pain was real. It felt so real. Honestly, I'm super invested. How dare it be a good love story? I'm so invested. Kinky. Yeah, I'm pretty invested now myself. I'm interested in hearing where this goes. And looking at this now, I can see this is going to go somewhere in the next few seconds, in the next few lines, so hold on. Let me hit you with this. Let me hit you with the real shit. I woke up, gasping and shaking, a hand clutching my stomach as if the pain was real. It felt so real. I felt arms close around me a moment later, pulling me against something hard. a chest. Avery's arms. Avery's chest. Holding me. Keeping me safe. I heard his voice, soft in my ear. "You're okay. You're okay," he mumbled, holding me tighter. Every emotion I had been holding in since I got into this damned place, I let loose. Dry sobs racked my body as a flurry of fear, pain, and confusion, along with others, flooded me. I saw him, I said quietly, tears streaming down my face. I know you did. It's okay. You're okay," Avery said softly, pulling me tighter against him. I didn't care anymore. I let myself turn towards him, blankets twisted around me as I buried my face in his chest, letting my tears soak his shirt as he held me. Let's go. Oh my gosh, yeah, let's go. It's gay. This is the prime gay content I come here for. I need to go finish my gay vampire story I'm writing. This is kind of premium gay content you can come to the QuvarTV show for, providing all your gay needs for you from the most tragically heterosexual man on the planet. But I provide. I dare do nothing but provide for you. Alright, where was I? As I buried my face in his chest, letting my tears soak his shirt as he held me. I can't tell you how long he held me. With my face buried in his chest, with him not caring that his shirt was getting soaked, holding me tighter every time a fresh wave of emotion swept through me. It felt like hours before the pain from my dream subsided, before my body was no longer shaking. It felt like hours, and during them, Avery had never let go of me. It would have been okay. It would have been mostly okay if one of us had just let go, if we didn't stay there holding a part of each other long after the danger, no matter how real, had passed. Thank you. Hold up, let me find the honorary gay membership cards. Oh, sick. Love that for me. I love that I can be an honorary gay because I'm so tragically heterosexual. My thoughts had finally slowed. I had skipped the past 2 steps of the stages of grief. I had skipped the anger and bargaining. My body just didn't have enough energy left to do it. The only thing I felt sitting there against Avery was safety, comfort. 2 things that I hadn't experienced since the moment I had arrived there. I could feel his heartbeat, a soothing, rhythmic sound that was more relaxing than I can explain. Sitting there with him felt right. It was the feeling that I had never felt looking at the girls in my class, that I had never felt looking at any girl. It felt like hours before I spoke again, my voice dull, like someone had run a knife over it. "Avery?" I asked softly. Hold on. I'm gonna take a moment here. I just realized I didn't do the big gamer move on Twitter where I say that I'm live in my name, so that people know that I'm live if they see something I do. Live with Dead by Daylight. Absolutely Dead by Daylight is what I'm doing right now. Probably should have changed this to just chatting at some point. It's fine. Tell him your name. Yes, Charles. It felt like hours before I spoke again, my voice dull, like someone had run a knife over it. "Avery?" I asked softly. "Yeah?" I never said thank you. "Thank you for what?" he asked, his voice soft against my ear. "For saving me. I would have drowned," I replied. I didn't need to explain further for him to understand what I was talking about. "You don't have to thank me for that. I know if you saw me hurtling out of the sky into a river, you would have done the same," he said, and this time I could hear the smile in his voice. I smiled, a tired but genuine smile. True. I wanted to say thank you anyway. Well then, you're welcome anyway. I laughed, but it came off more of a huff. There really should be a word for a laugh that ends as soon as it starts. I didn't want to leave the position that we were in, but I wanted to spend more time with Avery somewhere where we weren't in danger of becoming lost or, stabbed. Avery? I asked again. Yes? I want to go home, I said quietly. There was a pause. Let's go home then. What I assumed was the next few days were spent going over the plan, or what I assumed was a few days, since no time cycle. Avery drew up the city center, and where the Lost One congregated the most heavily. He gave and showed me how to use the weapons that could kill them. Your name, Theodore? Give him your name? Provide. Proceed. What are you doing, you fool? Avery drew up the city center, and where the Lost Ones congregated the most heavily. He gave and showed me how to use the weapons that could kill them. These are the weapons that I could found near the door. The people that come down here have a stash. This is an ontological gun, he said, handing me what looked like a regular handgun. He explained before I could ask. I know it looks like a regular gun, because it is. The only difference is how you think about it. I don't need to tell you that this place is weird and that regular logical rules don't apply. If you shoot this at them, they simply cease to exist. They go away, but only if you believe it to be true. At my confused expressions, he tried again. Train with the swords, I see. Yes, train with the swords. I do believe in guns. I do. It sounds really stupid, but it works. If you believe that, you can make them cease to exist by shooting this at them. It'll work. His navy eyes pressed into mine, silently pleading for me to trust him. I did, nodding. I took it from him. I didn't know how the hell this was supposed to work, but I trusted him. Something had happened after my dream, after we had stayed interlocked for who knows how long. Something unspoken. He no longer felt like a stranger, or just a person who shared the same name that was on my slip. It felt like I had known him my whole life. Along with planning and preparing, Avery had opened up greatly, letting me see more into his life, both past and present. It was comforting, knowing that we were both more comfortable conversing with each other, often teasing and cracking jokes, something that seemed impossible while we were stuck in this hellhole. I let myself notice things about him. How his mouth twisted to the side when he was deciding to laugh at something. How when he smiled, you could see that he had dimples. Or when he was thinking about something, he tapped his fingers lightly against a surface. Being around him just filled me with such warmth that it made it harder when I tried to work out how I was going to tell him that I lied about my name. I tried not to think about it. The night before we were going to put our plan in action, neither of us could sleep. At first, it was disorienting going to sleep without any sleep-wake cycle, but I got used to it, just going to bed whenever I felt tired. I lay next to Avery, who I could tell wasn't asleep either. Trust him, not the other trusting, right? Right? Who knows? It could be any sort of trusting here. I'm sure we'll find out momentarily what's going to happen, what the truth is. When Charles Theodore says, Avery? Charles? He replied, to which I internally cringed. Are you nervous? I asked quietly. There was a pause. A bit. Do you want to push it another day to go over it again? He said finally, to which I shook my head, sitting up slightly to look at him. No, I just would feel a bit more comfortable if I knew how the guns worked, I said, a small smile tugging on my lips. Avery rolled his eyes. If you had played Destiny, I wouldn't have to explain. It's pure theory, and I don't know how they developed it, but it works. Fingers crossed, fingers and toes crossed. All right, nerd, I trust you, I said, sitting back, grinning as a pillow hit me in the chest. I paused, looking over at him. I don't know about you, but I'm gonna get the hell away from this city as soon as I can when we get out. I've had enough of this nonsense for a lifetime, I said, watching as Avery propped himself up on his elbows. Me too. I'll keep in touch with my parents and everything, but it's been ruined. The image I had of the place I grew up in has just been completely ruined. I don't think I can stay here and be happy, he said, and I nodded. At least we got our slips first, I joked, but to my surprise, Avery blushed, looking down at the ground. I don't know. I think it's a bit of bullshit. I used to think it was real, but now, he said, tripping over his words, still avoiding my eyes. They can't control chemistry. They can't control you feel safe and comfortable around, he said, his voice getting quieter. It was so out of character that I couldn't find my own voice to speak. Was he saying what I thought he was saying? Tell him your name. Oh my god. It happening? It happening? Is it happening? Avery shook his head, as if to shake off these thoughts. I'm not making sense. We should probably get to bed. Big day and all that, he mumbled, laying back down. I nodded, laying down as well, closing my eyes, my mind racing. Theodore! Theodore! Please get your shit together, Theodore! We're all waiting for it. There's an audience wrapped with attention, sitting on the edge of their seats, holding their butts, waiting for this to just happen. So go! Go! But there's a pause here. There's a line break because it's going to be the next day. Someone was shaking me awake. I reluctantly opened my eyes, where I could see Avery shaking my shoulder gently, stopping when he saw I was awake and giving me a small smile. Morning. We should get going. This is the most ideal time if we want to do this today. I nodded, pushing myself up. We spent the next little while getting ready, neither of us mentioning the conversation we had yesterday. I had gotten used to being in the house, and in a weird way, I was going to miss it. I was going to miss a lot of things. What the? No, no sleep here. Yes, we're reading this from No Sleep, you are correct. When we were both armed with the weird guns, and had our masks on, we set off for the center of the city. It was time to get the fuck out of here. We avoided entire streets whenever we saw a lost one, not wanting to create any unnecessary attention. After a while of walking, I saw what Avery was talking about. The city center was where we had our summer farmers market, events, and concerts. It looked the same, the only difference being the short archway with a stark red door. It caught me off guard since the only things in color that I had seen were Avery and I, but the door was blood red, and next to it, a keypad. The archway was a good ways away from where we were, and already I saw lost ones milling around, the same unclear mumbling filling the silence. Remember, we're going to try to get as far as we can without the guns, but if they notice us, then start shooting. Avery mumbled into my ear. I nodded. I could hear my heart pounding in my ears as we started to walk. We kept our heads straight, only focused on the door in front of us. As we walked a few meters, we realized that we greatly overestimated the amount of time we had before they noticed us. Remember, put on your mask if you're going to mess with your weird guns. Of course, it's just common sense. If you're going to mess with a weird gun that runs on belief in a system that doesn't make sense, wear a mask. Always wear a mask. As we walked a few meters, we realized that we greatly overestimated the amount of time we had before they noticed us. It was just like in my dreams. Their black faces starting to develop white lines. I didn't want to wait to see if they turned into the demented, troubled smiles. I pulled out the gun Avery had given to me, praying to whatever higher power there was to let this work. I concentrated, imagining the one directly in front of me disappearing when the bullet made contact. It was advancing, and I could already hear the loud cracks of Avery's gun behind me. It was running now, full speed at me, its mumbling getting louder. I raised the gun, my heart pounding. A few feet away, its mouth stretching into a wide grin. "Charles!" I fired, my eyes closing for a split second. I braced myself for the pain I knew was coming, but none came. Opening my eyes, there was nothing but a scattering of dust at my feet. Relief flooded through me as I could have laughed. It worked. It worked. It worked. And put on your straight face. Yes, put on your straight face, Charles. Theodore. Looking around, they were coming in from behind buildings, out of windows. Filled with renewed hope and confidence, I started firing rounds off, truly believing with each shot. Adrenaline was rushing through me as the cracks of our guns filled the heavy silence, only being outmatched by the progressively louder mumbling made by advancing lost ones. It was tight, but Avery was right. With the two of us, we were overpowering them, dust going up every few seconds. It felt oddly like a video game, wave after wave coming until eventually they stopped, and there were only a few left. I had just reached my peak of confidence when I heard a scream. Turning around, my heart stopped in my chest. Avery was being dragged by the foot, a lost one's long, sharp fingers digging into his ankle, his gun laying a few feet away. I didn't have time to think or react, sprinting towards them as I pointed my gun, hoping desperately I wouldn't hit him. I wouldn't be able to aim properly while running. I stopped, trying to level the gun, trying to stop my hand from shaking. I took a breath and fired. The cloud of dust that replaced the thin black body was probably the most beautiful thing I had seen in my life. I sprinted over, where Avery was wincing horribly as he tried to turn himself around. Avery heard me coming, and when he looked up, he wasn't looking at me. "No, no, no! Charles! Charles, behind you!" he yelled, the panic clear in his voice. Stopping and turning around, my heart seemed to stop for the second time. It was the man from the convenience store. The one from my dream. It looked like he was the only one left. "You can do this," I thought to myself. I raised my gun, firing at him. Right in the chest. The bullet passed through like an ordinary bullet. Panic was rapidly flowing through me now as the man came closer. I tried to move, but my feet felt glued to the ground. Oh no, 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 not again. I could hear Avery behind me, calling my name. The man was slowly advancing, knowing that I wasn't going anywhere. The white lines appeared on his face. My voice felt stuck in my throat. My arm was pulling back, turning into the thing from my dreams. Avery's calls got louder. The man was a few feet away, grabbing the front of my shirt. The white lines transformed into a smile. The corners of its mouth stretched wide. To either corner of its face, as drawn-on teeth appeared, I knew what was going to happen next. The pain was unbearable. I was certain I was being ripped apart, being set on fire from the very depths of my body. White-hot pain clouded my vision so badly that I didn't even notice when it was over. I didn't notice the puff of dust appear in front of me, the loud crack that went with it. I didn't feel it when I sank to my knees, feeling something hot and wet spread throughout my shirt. It took me a minute to notice the hands grabbing at my shoulders, tipping me back. It took me a minute to notice the tears slipping down Avery's face as he bent over me. "No, no, 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 Charles, Charles, please, stay with me, please," Avery whispered, silent sobs racking the chest as he started to rip at the bottom of his shirt, pulling away a piece of fabric to press on my stomach, the other arm cradling my head. I can't lose you, Charles," he whispered, his shoulders shaking. "That's not," I whispered. Avery's eyes flashed to mine briefly as he started to rip off another piece of fabric. What? My name. It's not Charles, I said softly. What are you talking about? He asked, tears streaming silently down his face as he desperately tried to control the bleeding. I lied. My name is... Theodore. I wanted you to like me for who I was, not because my name might have been on your slip, I whispered, exhaustion and coldness starting to seep into my body. I saw realization pass through Avery's eyes, saw him putting the pieces together. You. I don't care. Please, I can't lose you. We'll get you back to the house. We'll patch you up. Just please don't go, he said, his voice breaking on the last sentence. You've come too far. The door is right there, and more lost ones will be back. Just go, I said softly. Fuck that. I'm not leaving you here, he said sharply, looking over me, seeming to make a decision. He slid his arms under me, lifting me up and holding me like a little kid, being careful not to touch my stomach, where the red stain was getting progressively wetter. He carried me over to the keypad, his hand shaking as he put in the numbers. Ready? He asked softly. I didn't have the energy to do anything but nod. He put in the last number, and the door swung open. I winced as white light flooded my vision, and as I felt Avery step through. My eyes closed as warmth spread throughout me, and I let myself drift out of consciousness. I could hear footsteps around me, people talking in low voices. My eyelids fluttered open.
Ah, Mr. Shillings. We've been expecting you.
And that's the end of part 2. No, the gay. That was not the hot one that I wanted. Tell him my name. Yes. Wait, no. There's a final part here.
Mr. Henderson.
Just for reference, the top comments on this post on No Sleep is, "Yep, I'm in love with Avery." People love Avery, it seems. Can't blame them. What a lad. Wow, I hate this with all of my love. Well, no reason to read the finale now. May as well just get back to playing some video games, right? Play some Dead by Daylight. We don't need to know what happens from here. We don't need to know where this story goes. That's not important. That's not what we're here for. Can we please keep on reading? I actually kind of don't want to know. The Chad Avery versus the Virgin Theo. It's going to be ruined and I would be sad. You make a fair point. It's been pretty beautiful so far. But we have to believe that they can stick the landing, right? We have to believe. But, I don't know. Well, it could still get a lot of ways. Remember, it's a spooky story. That being said, we've come this far. May as well finish it. When we turn 18, we get the name of our soulmate. Final. I believe that I am correct in thinking that it is a well-known fact that people, by nature, are curious. Curiosity has fueled many of the greatest inventions of time, such things being electricity or the wheel. Of course, it does not take anything, no great genius, to be curious. In fact, Thanks to modern technology, everyone who becomes curious is able to fuel that curiosity, have it satisfied in mere seconds. Back in middle school, I remember being curious about something. I was curious to see how many variations there were of the word confusion. As it turned out, there were many. We believe in the gay. Let's go! Or the gay. Yeah, could be the gay. I won't bore you with all of the variations there were, since if you are curious, you could simply look it up yourself. However, I will share a particular one that I liked. My favorite variation, or synonym for the word confused, was disoriented. By definition, being disoriented means that a person is thoroughly confused as to a time or place. They are out of touch with their surroundings. They have lost their sense of direction. They are unable to think clearly, their surroundings creating mixed feelings, emotions, thoughts. Oddly, all of this was going through my head as my brain tried to register the words that I had just heard.
Ah, Mr. Shillings, we've been expecting you.
Disoriented, my eyes slowly opened. I winced as harsh white light shone down on me. It only took a moment for my eyes to adjust, and when they did, my throat dropped into my stomach. Standing above me was a man. Despite my disoriented state, I tried to quickly take him in. He looked old, with white, receding hair and a white, neat beard. He was wearing all white, to his button-up shirt, to his pants, his coat, to even his tie. He was staring at me, a small smile on his face, trying to gauge my reaction as I could hear other people bustling around me. What the actual fuck was happening? That screams gay. You know, I don't think this story is very gay. I don't think there's a lot of gay going on here. No gay at all. Not once, not never could there be gay. But let's find out. Maybe there will be. Stay calm, I told myself. You're not in danger. If they wanted to kill you, they would have by now. I tried to reason. The man was still staring at me, and I was too afraid to break eye contact with him, too afraid to look around. From what I could see out of my peripheral vision, the room was stark white, and filled with what looked like hospital equipment. The man was still staring at me. Maybe he wouldn't speak until I would. You've been expecting me? I asked, trying to keep the fear, the apprehension out of my voice. The man smiled wider, reaching next to him for something. A clipboard.
Oh yes, we've been expecting you for a while. I know you must have had quite a few questions, but don't worry. All of them will be answered in due time, he said, giving a small laugh. I was beyond unnerved. His laugh was too high, too long for it to seem natural. I desperately wanted him to stop smiling. I finally worked up the courage to avert my eyes, to try and take in my surroundings. It did look like a hospital room, but the equipment was different, unlike anything I had ever seen. What looked like nurses were milling about with clipboards, all dressed in white. Everything in the room was white, which is why it caught me off guard when my eyes fell onto the blood-red door on the far side of the room. The same door that Avery and I had just come through. Avery. Avery wasn't in the room. I bolted upright, relieved to find I wasn't tied down, which honestly was a thought that crossed my mind. I looked around once, twice, and a third time. Avery wasn't in here. I looked at the man, for the first time since my arrival here, feeling angry. "Where's Avery?" I demanded, my voice stronger than it had been a minute ago. The man simply looked at me, that creepy fucking smile still plastered on his face. Fucking hell, really? Okay, I'm sorry. That creepy fucking smile still plastered on his face. "Mr. Anderson is quite fine.
However, I will ask that you don't make sudden movements. You will disrupt your healing process. Healing process? Shit, how could I have forgotten? I looked down, lifting my bloodstained shirt up. The shake in my hands, noticeable. Lymphao, that's fucking right. That threw me for a bit of a loop for a second there. Get it together. How is this possible? The spot where I had been, well, impaled showed nothing except a long scar. I ran my fingers over it gently. The indent noticeable, but nothing else. I looked up quickly, to which the man put his hand up. Questions will be answered. How about we take a walk? Wait, yes, Aiden. It is actually Mr. Anderson, Avery Anderson. I was literally just making a Matrix reference earlier. Yeah, I know. That's why I was like, holy shit, are we for real here? What are we doing? We living in the Matrix? Living in a dream? What's up? Take a walk? Was he serious? A small nagging voice in my head told me that it probably wasn't the best idea to refuse him, especially since he made it sound like it wasn't really a question where my answer mattered. But I didn't care. No, I said forcefully, renewed confidence flowing through me. I want to see Avery, I said, my voice slow and measured, laced with anger, with stubbornness. For the first time since I had seen him, the man's smile flickered, annoyance and impatience crossing his face. I have been given the gift of prophecy for just a moment, just a fleeting moment. You have looked beyond the veil to have a premonition of what could be real, and you've touched it, you've grasped it for yourself, and you were able to share that with all of us in these trying times, and we thank you for that. Bless you, Aiden. Give me the rainbow pill. Would you like the red pill or the blue pill? Give me the rainbow pill, please. Clipboard still in hand, he started to cross to the other side of the room, where a keypad was attached to the wall. The wall was entirely made up of those clouded glass panes, the ones they put on houses for privacy. I slowly pushed myself off the bed, following him, trying not to look at the other people in the room. The man stood in front of it, slowly putting in a password. I wasn't sure if I wanted to get closer. Was he going to let me see Avery? Or was this some kind of a prison cell to throw me into for not doing what he asked? The man's back was turned, and that's when I saw something on a table. It was Avery's gun, the one he used to kill the lost ones. Now, of course, it was only a regular gun. I made a decision, quickly, silently reaching out and taking it, stuffing it into the back waistband of my jeans, before quickly hurrying over to where the man was, praying he didn't notice anything, or the nurses. A few seconds passed, and no one said anything. No sirens sounded. I breathed a silent sigh of relief. Thanks, Apollo, but it's the thanks Obama mean. Perfect. I love it. Thanks, Apollo. As the man finished putting in the password, the clouded glass started to get clearer. The man silently moved to the side to let me see. I slowly walked forward, and had just reached the glass as it finally became clear, and I could see into it. My voice seemed stuck in my throat. It was a dark room, smaller than the one we were in, with more of the equipment that I didn't recognize. The room was bare of furniture, besides a bed, which was being occupied by Avery. My eyes were closed, a mask covering. His eyes were closed, a mask covering, and attached his mouth that was attached to one of the machines next to him. One of his ankles was bandaged, from where the lost ones had got him. He wasn't moving. My brain didn't want to accept what I was seeing. It was refusing to deal with the wave of emotions that had started to rise up, invading my thoughts. Is he... I choked out, my eyes not leaving him. He is fine, the man said, turning to face him. I saw that he was still smiling. I wanted to hit him. He is sleeping. I would be more than happy to explain things to you. Would you care to take a walk? He asked, his smile unwavering. I didn't trust him. I didn't trust whatever this place was, whoever was here. The only person that I trusted right now was Avery, but I couldn't get to him. I'd have to fix that. You just have to be patient, I told myself. Wait for the right opportunity. Then you can get him and find a way out of here. I made a decision. I'd have to play along for a little bit. Looking at the man, I plastered on a smile to match his.
Oh fuck, I'm getting raided.
Oh fuck, I'm getting raided. What do I do? Hello, Mimi, rolling in with 12 aboard the love train. People of the world, get up, join hands. Start a love train, a love train. Hello, Mimi, welcome, and Snaky, hello. Hello, Raiders, welcome to reading time. Yes, hello, Raiders, welcome to the gay. We're reading a spooky story before playing Dead by Daylight, and it's become a little bit more like Dead by Gaylight, because the story is very gay, but it's been a fun time. And we're at the finale here. Welcome, thank you for the raid, Mimi. And thank you, Mimi Rare. Oh, it says Mimi Rare. Rare time. It's rare time, baby. Always an honor and a pleasure to see my hermano. Hello, Snaky. Pleasure to have you here. It's gay hours. We are on real gay hours here. It's a good time. Give them the gay. How are you doing, Mimi? What were you up to? Hold on. I got the ability. Me. Heart. D. Did I do it? Shoutouts to me, Heart D. Mimi here, playing Ragnarok Online. Sorry, I was real quick, didn't have time for Snake to send the raid message. No worries. Gotta love the gay. Absolutely. Mimi, roar! Mimi, roar! Roar! How did Ragnarok Online go? What were you up to? Are you having a beautiful morning, beautiful day today? Also, it has been 1 hour and 43 minutes. Yeah, we haven't touched a video game yet. We've been reading up in here. Classic QuvarTV show. Am I right, gamers? It's alright. The rare is an internal meme. Always can be. I rare all the time. I always rare people. Oh man. I streamed for 6 hours yesterday. Woke up early in the morning. Then I took a short break to eat some pizza. Played Dungeons and Dragons for 3 to 4 hours. Streamed again for another 5 hours. Took a quick nap, and now I'm streaming again. We're back at it. Never stop. Can never be game over. Never stopping. Always love the reading times. Yeah, we're reading some real gay spooky stories here. I will be playing some video games at some point, but gotta finish this. Gotta finish reading through this. But thank you all for stopping by. Much appreciated. I hope you're having a lovely time, and I hope you enjoy your time here on the QuvarTV show. That's what I call it. Plastered on a smile to match his. I'd love to, I said, smiling. The man beamed. I had never been good in pressured situations, or lying for that matter. However, it was the thought of Avery lying motionless in that bed that allowed me to fall into step next to the man, to smile like everything was normal. It was the sight of Avery lying in that bed that made my nerves settle enough for me to pay attention to potential exits as we walked, trying to draw a mental map of the place. After all he had done for me, I owed it to him to find a way to get us out of this.
So I imagine you have a few questions,
the man said, leading us out of the room and down a long, narrow hallway. I tried to not wince with each step because of my stomach, but it was a hell of a lot better than the alternative. You could say that, I replied. The man chuckled.
I'll try to answer your questions to the best of my ability. What would you like to know first?
I was trying to focus on finding a way out of here, but I also had questions. So many questions. I took a breath. What did you mean when you said that you had been expecting me? Where even am I asked, the words tumbling out of my mouth. We turned right, around a corner.
Well, I'll try to keep it simple. The fact of the matter is, Theodore, is that you have what it takes to be a matchmaker, he said, a small smile resting on his face as he glanced at me. Internally, I froze. However, I tried to keep my feet moving. What? What are you talking about? I asked, bewildered.
Yeah, bed, lying, good, good. Yes, we love lying in our beds. This is like I said yesterday. This is one of those weekends where you kind of just want to spend your entire time just lying in bed, sleeping and resting, and you don't want to get out of it. And when I felt that way, got up, made some tea, started streaming, and I haven't stopped moving since. Never stop moving, never stop grooving. We're gonna be streaming for like, I don't know, fuck it. Maybe like another 6-7 hours. I don't care. I'm unstoppable. I'm invincible. I'm improbable. And I got some snacks if I need them. I can eat that. I got dinner later this evening with some friends. But until then, I'm just going to keep moving and keep grooving. And I hope that you all stay along with me for as much time as you have available. And if you need to go for a while, I'll probably still be here when you come back. I can't be stopped. I'm so strong. Holy shit. So strong and so weak. Strong boy, no sleep. Hey, it's not no sleep. I took a nap. I probably got like an hour in, and I didn't sleep much this past week. I kind of struggled a little bit. But I have my tea, and I'm ready to stream. No one can stop the bear-dressed man. You know, 'cause every girl crazy about a bear-dressed man. Yes, of course. Sorry. I need to stop getting distracted. I'm so very easily distracted. Tea sipping. Q, please take care of yourself. I'm taking care of myself, Feather. Don't worry. I have lost control of my life entirely, and so I'm kind of leaning into it right now. But I am in perfectly fine shape. I'll be sleeping tonight wonderfully. Exactly. I'll be so tired tonight, I will fall asleep immediately when I hit the bed, I'm sure, and I will sleep a nice, long... 7 hours, maybe? Before I have to wake up to go to work in the morning. It'll be fine, though. I'll be wonderful. I'm glad you got that music ref, though. I'm glad that that's what you meant. I was like, I'm pretty sure this is where he's going with it, but I'm not positive. But it's where my mind goes. But yes, do not worry. I am a responsible adult. I am a big, strong boy, and I will take wonderful care of myself. I even ate food yesterday, and the day before, and the day before that. And I'm going to eat some food today, later on. In fact, I'll prove it to you. Look, I have one donut left, I think. One little donut. Here, I'll eat this. There's actually 2 in here. Okay, I'll eat one of these donuts. I'll even dip it in my tea, like it's a biscuit. Delicious. They call it hydration, not low duration. Drink. Thank you for the hydration, sweet. Fingers crossed, hot bro minds think alike, damn straight. Teach that donut who is boss. But boss, that's you, ain't it? Kept you waiting, huh? Yummy. There, now I have some nutrition in me, and maybe my tummy will stop rumbling a little bit. I've been getting a little bit of the rumbles. I won't be a liar. They are there a little bit, but it's fine. All right. Now, ladies, yeah. You're welcome. Thank you so much. Let's get back to the tale at hand here, though. I'm getting so distracted. I'm a tangential man with a tangential nature. Again, I'll try to keep it simple, but keep in mind the real answer is quite complex, the man said as we turned another corner, left. Each citizen born within city grounds has the ability to carry a gene, one of the ones needed for the ability to possess the powers needed for a matchmaker. Sometimes people don't exhibit the abilities when they are born, or at all, even if they have the gene that carries the ability. It is because of that citizens are required to have blood work done, so that we can know who is carrying the gene. he said, his voice starting to sound flat, monotone. I'll keep that in mind. You are right, I am indeed. You absolutely are. Let's get back to the gay. Back to the gay. Go, go, go. Read so that our hearts melt some more. Oh, you're so sweet. I will continue to read for you and for me, and for everybody in between. We use the blood work to identify the people, so that later we can seek them out, and begin training them to unlock the potential given to them. These people serve as the matchmakers, the leaders of the city, he said, this time giving me a meaningful glance. Morning, Q. Oh, sub ran out. Let me fix it. Oh, Evie. Good morning. A pleasure to see you here. I hope you're having a beautiful day. Love to have you here. We are absolutely streaming Dead by Daylight right now and totally not spending 2 hours reading a very, very gay creepypasta on No Sleep. That's not that creepy. It's way more gay than it is creepy, but it's a good time. So if you're down with the gay, then welcome to the gay Dead by Gaylight by Gaylight. How are you doing today? I hope you're having a beautiful day. Love to have you here. We were planning to seek you out after realizing that you carried this gene. However, we hit a little... You're my hero. Get it? Thank you, Evie, for joining the QuvarArmy, but harder this time, with money. This is a bad gift to use. Thank you so much. You're such a sweetheart. I really appreciate it. Your support means the world. Dead by Gaylight time? That's what we can call it when we collab Dead by Daylight. Dead by Gaylight, baby! With me and my bro! Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, of course. Of course, of course, of course. Congrats on now being hard, Evie. Congratulations. You're hard, just like all of us. We were planning to seek you out after realizing that you carried this gene. However, we hit a little snag when you broke one of the rules, and most unfortunately got transported to below, he said with a small sigh, but still smiling. Wow. Come on, Mimi. You know you're hard as well. You've been hard for a couple weeks now. Having some Dead by Gaylight time with me, Armando. I've always been hard. It's true. You've got the founder's badge, Evie. You've been hard since like day one. Hell yeah. This is so stupid. What kind of life do I lead here on this planet? What a time to be alive. The QuvarTV show. QuvarTV. We all hard in the QuvarArmy. Wait, no, don't tie that to the founder's badge. Feather, you've been hard since day one too. Hard can mean so many things though, don't worry about it. I'm say-so as fuck. You don't believe me? Check out my, I don't know, my gams. Look at my gams, I'm hard as fuck. But I'm also say-so as fuck. Hard is a mentality, it's just like being big. I'm so big and so strong and so hard. I only make it hard for someone, but I'm a softie myself. Mimi, no, we're Say-So here. Welcome to the Say-So Saloon. What can I get for you? What do you want to drink? Something creamy? God damn it, we're going off the rails on this gravy train. No, everyone is so cute here. You're all cute as a button. What a great time. We are all OG hard on hammers. Everybody hard. Get hard. Walk hard, hard down life's rocky road. Walk bold, hard, that's my creed, my code. The gay time made everyone crazy. Everyone's crazy now. We're going wild up in here. It might also be the sleep deprivation. It makes for high quality content from me. What were you thinking? I make life hard for someone. Get your mind out of the gutter, Q. Kick. I'm say-so. I'm a good boy. It's on my Twitter name. It says right there, Quvar good boy. I'm a good boy. I'm a good boy. Shut up. Are you now? Yes, I'm the goodest of boys. I am say so as fuck. I am so big and so hard and so strong. I hate that I have to leave right now because I was so enraptured. I'll have to look up the story later and catch you for your SCP ratings. Of course, absolutely, Feather. I hope you have a beautiful time. Thank you for being here. Thank you for stopping by. I'm sorry that I got so distracted. I probably could have finished this if I wasn't getting distracted. But if you want me to, I can send you the story to make sure that you find it easily. I'll just, in fact, I'll just pop, lock, and drop that onto Discord quick for you. Here we go. Where's Feather? Feather, Feather, Feather. There you go. For your reading pleasure later on. Have a beautiful day, Feather. Sure you are. Sure I am. Of course I am. Thank you. Oh yes, that'd be lovely. Thank you. See you later, Feather. You are awesome. Absolutely. You are a lovely, wholesome being. I love you and I'm proud of you. Okay, have a wonderful stream. Remember, you're very good and wonderful. Okay, bye. I am so cool. I am the best in the world. I litter positive affirmations all over my life so that I can try to believe that, because there are enough people telling me the positive things that I have to believe there must be some sort of truth to it. So even if I don't always believe it myself, I can believe in those who believe in me. Who the hell do you think I am? Sliding into their DMs, slip sliding away. Slip sliding away. See you soon, Feather, yes. Thank you, everybody, for wishing Feather a soft farewell and a pleasant day. You're all so sweet. Sorry that the Mimi Rare came in hot and hard and kept Q busy. Rare time always keeps me busy. And it was so hot, so hard. It was like a slip and slide. It was wet. Just whew, slippery when wet. Remember that? We talked about that when I talked about my top 10 favorite road signs. Anyways, perhaps we should continue with the gay story. They call it hydration, not low-dration. Drink. Thank you for the hydration, Snakey. I am feeling invigorated. I am feeling alive right now. Even while life attempts to tear me down little bit at a time, little brick at a time, I continue to march along this path of mine, and you're all alongside me, and I appreciate your love and support so much. Can't even really say, can't even put it into words. It's comforting. Luckily, you seem to manage just fine. Not without a few bumps along the way, of course, he said with a laugh, motioning to my stomach. A sickening sense of unease was starting to wash over me. Something wasn't right with the way he was talking, the way he was laughing. The fact that he wouldn't stop fucking smiling. So you know what happens to the people you throw in there? Wait, sorry, wrong voice. Never stopping being gay. Well, that's the thing, Snake. That's the true horror here. Is everything is so gay, but I myself am tragically heterosexual. It's terrible. What a horrible life I lead. Who could believe it? The pain inside my heart. So you know what happens to the people you throw in there? The people that get down there by accident? I asked, trying to sound innocent, but I couldn't help the anger that was sneaking into my voice. Luckily for me, however, the man didn't seem to notice. Well, of course. The people that we put down there are a danger to our society. They are risks, and here, we don't take risks. Any citizen that doesn't follow the rules provided, in my own opinion, is just as bad as people that get put there. We have rules in place for a reason, to protect the citizens. They are not for laughs or for fun. Anyone who does not take that seriously has no place in our community, he said with a smile. Bro, same, I am as well. But the loving and gay vibes are absolutely amazing. Absolutely love my gay boys and girls out there. They own my heart and I adore them. Even if I cannot fully join them along their path, I will walk alongside them as close as I can. Being het is a curse that was put on me as well. Oh, poor sweet, poor sweet. I'm sorry you have to struggle so much. We're all in this together, in this tragically heterosexual path that we must walk. Woe is us! Life could not get any harder for us. We are truly the downtrodden, the oppressed, the tragically heterosexual of this gay earth. This gay earth. Alright. I would have given anything right then to have hit him as hard as I could. I needed to change the subject. I couldn't let my emotions get the better of me, not when so much was at risk. We took another right turn. It was this turn that made me realize that I hadn't seen another person anywhere since we left the room that we were in. I just added it to the growing list of reasons I needed to get me and Avery out of here. How did you heal me? I asked quietly. But I love that despite most of us being hetero here, we can still enjoy and love on the gay vibes and boost those who actually are. Benefits of being an NB is that every relationship is gay for me. Yeah. Yeah, I suppose, Aiden, that is a very, very positive way of looking at that. I can be gay no matter what, because I'm NB. That is quite the perspective. I love that for you. Absolutely love that for you. And you're positively positive about that, Snaky. This is a place of comfort. This is a place of support. This is a place for all of us to come together and appreciate gay. Appreciate the gay, the big gay. My gender is now gay. that makes sense. You're not just NB, you're gay. Specifically. Love that for you. That's delightful. Where was I? State-of-the-art technology, the man said loudly, his words echoing off the walls, startlingly slightly. The fuck? We have perfected almost all things, including health and safety. Our state-of-the-art technology allows for healing and recovery unmatched by anyone else. Injuries such as yours can be healed completely in a matter of hours, he said, his smile growing even wider than it had been before. It sounded like he was reading from a pamphlet. We turned another corner, this time to face a dead end, where we were greeted by a handsome set of mahogany doors. I opened my mouth to ask another question, but the man held his hand up. Unfortunately, I cannot provide you with any more information. You are to wait here until a matchmaker comes to start with you on your training, and give you a more detailed explanation, he said, moving to push the door open. My mind spun, panic seizing my throat. Wait, what? I haven't agreed to anything. My parents will be looking for me, and my friends, they'll notice I'm gone, I said, my words trailing off as the man shook his head, smiling. No need to worry. Your family and friends' memories will be modified. Of course, however, the choice to become a matchmaker is up to you. It is, of course, the highest honor. You will have everything you have ever desired, dreamed about. Your life will be perfect, he said. I won't pretend that I didn't think about it, and I'm ashamed to admit that I considered it, even for a second. A perfect life, everything taken care of for me. The ability to set people up with love, set them up with happiness, a perfect life. I paused, something rising up, blocking these intruding thoughts. What about Avery? I asked softly. The man smiled, shaking his head. He is no longer your concern. I thought of Avery. I thought of the mask over his mouth, his unmoving body. I thought of his smile, his laugh, the way he held me, protected me, the warmth that filled me whenever he touched me, the way he looked at me when he thought I didn't notice. He had the chance to leave me behind, to leave me to the lost ones. He could have let me drown, let me fend for myself. The door was right in front of me. Once I went in that room, I wouldn't have to worry about anything ever again. A wave of certainty slowly washed over me. Avery's gun felt heavy in my waistband. The man looked at me, a smile still plastered on his face. I could hear my heart beat thundering in my ears. Go to hell, I said softly. A flicker of confusion passed over the man's face. Sorry? I reached behind me, my hand closing around the handle as I pulled it out, clicking the safety off as I leveled it at the man. For the first time since I saw him, the man's smile fell. I said, go to hell, I snarled, my finger closing around the trigger. Somewhere in my head, before I even pulled out the gun, I knew there wouldn't be any blood. I was correct. Sparks flew as the man stumbled back against the wall, smoke starting to come out of the place in his chest where I had shot him, wires of all colors visible through the hole. The man's eyes opened with shock and unblinking as he slid to the floor, his head jerking a few times before he lay, unmoving. A second later, sirens began to sound as the lights everywhere turned red. I turned and started to run. Give me the gay! 100% baby! 10,000%, my apologies. We are now in full-on gay panic mode. Let's move! It's a different sort of gay panic. It's fine. My mind was reeling as I desperately tried to remember which way we came, all other thoughts being pushed aside. I didn't know how many bullets were left in the gun. I didn't stop to check. Left, right, straight down this hallway. Another left? I was sprinting as fast as I could, my sneakers squeaking against the white tile floors. Above me, the noise was thunderous and sounded like people were running. I tried to run faster. Avery. I thought to myself, you have to get to Avery. I turned left again and knew I had gone the right way. I burst into the room I had come from. The room now empty. No nurses or anyone in sight. I ran towards the glass wall, where Avery lay on the other side. I'm coming, I said softly, knowing that he couldn't hear me. I put the gun down, not wanting to waste any bullets. I grabbed a chair, adrenaline coursing through me as I swung it at the wall, again and again, cracks forming each time I hit it. Each hit was fueled by emotions I had pushed down. This is for the lies, I thought as I swung. This is for the pain. I swung. I paused, panting. This is for Avery. I took a final swing, the glass shattering around me. Throwing the chair away, I ran over the broken glass to Avery. With shaking hands, I took off the mask, throwing it to the side. I put my hands to his face, my entire body shaking. Wake up. Come on, wake up, I whispered, shaking his shoulders lightly. Avery, please, please wake up, I whispered, feeling a sob starting to creep up in my throat. You can't leave me, I whispered, my voice shaking. I need you, Avery. Please, please wake up. Tears started to cloud my vision, which is why I thought the flutter of his eyelids was my mind playing tricks, showing me what I wanted to see. Theo? My body froze, my breath still. His eyes opened slowly, and it wasn't until I saw the dark navy blue of them that I allowed myself to breathe, a short, relieved breath escaping out of me. I couldn't let myself go through what I was feeling right now. There was no time. Avery, I need you to listen to me. You need to get up. Can you get up? I asked quickly, my eyes glancing over him. I think so. Theo, what is going... Do you trust me? I asked suddenly, the irony not being lost on me. Avery didn't hesitate before he nodded. Then please, questions later. We need to go. Avery gave me a quick, searching look before nodding again. I took his hand, helping him out of the bed, and noticing his wince once he put pressure on his foot. I'm fine, he said, noticing my look. Lead the way, he said softly. It was then I realized that I had his full, unwavering trust. I felt a surge of admiration for him. Now kiss! Now kiss! No, now's not the time. They have to escape, sweet. They have to escape. They have to get out of here. They call it hydration, not low-dration. Drink. Thank you for the hydration, Snickles. Always appreciated. I nodded, walking a few paces and picking up the gun that I had set down. I noticed Avery was limping on his injured foot. Without a word, I crossed over to him, sliding an arm under his so that he could put some of his weight on me. Thanks, he said quietly. I nodded. Of course. The sirens didn't stop as we pushed our way out the door. Muffled yells and voices were coming from behind us. We have to hurry, I said, Avery picking up on the unease in my voice, and tried to walk as fast as he could on his foot. Is there an exit? He said, wincing as we half ran down the halls. There is. I think I saw one around here, I said, looking around, and to my relief, saw one of those glowing red signs for an emergency exit at the end of the hallway we were in. There, come on, I said, hearing the voices get louder. We were only a few 100 feet away. We could make it. We could make it. Loud cracks suddenly filled the air as I realized the people behind us were starting to shoot. Bullets ricocheting off the walls. I had a feeling that as soon as we got to the exit, they wouldn't be able to follow. We ducked our heads as we tried to zigzag down the hall. Fleetingly, I turned my head to look at the people who were shooting. I wanted to look away instantly. I wasn't sure if you could call them people. They were in all black, their limbs too long, too thin, masks and helmets covering each one's head. Another crack sounded, and I felt Avery slip out from under me as he screamed. It only took me a second to realize what happened. Avery! Avery, no! I yelled, turning around to see 5 people in all black coming towards us, and more far behind them. I held up the gun, praying that there were enough bullets as I fired off rounds, watching the same sparks appear as they did with the old man. Avery was on the ground, clutching his leg and groaning. I tried to pull the trigger again, but the gun clicked empty. Fuck. Avery heard the gun click empty. Theo, go. There's too many. The door's right there. Just go. I can't move, he said, groaning, his hands painted red with blood. My heart beat, thundered in my ears. No. No. In your own words, Avery, fuck that. There's no way in hell I'm leaving you here, I said forcefully. Despite the pain, I could have sworn I saw a flicker of a smile on Avery's face. Give me your arm, I said hurriedly, glancing up, seeing more of those things start to turn the corner. Panic seized me as I grabbed Avery's arm, as I started to pull him towards the door. Only a few feet away. We could make it. More of the things in black were now jumping over the bodies of the ones that I shot. I turned around, reaching for the door handle as the things raised their guns. With a final yank, I pulled Avery towards me just as I opened the door, pulling us both through as the door slammed closed. I felt myself land hard on a rocky surface, but I wasn't paying attention. My eyes were on the door, which now looked like a wooden board against a run-down building. A second passed, then a few more. No one came out. Looking around frantically, I spotted Avery on the ground next to me, looking like he was going to pass out, blood flowing freely from his leg. I scrambled towards him. No, Avery, I said, my voice shaking as he looked up at me. Theo, he started to say. No, don't talk. I'm gonna get you help. Do you hear that? He asked quietly, cutting me off. I paused, listening as I looked around. We were in what looked like an alley. The sounds of cars and people chattering filling my ears. The familiar scent of pizza, due to the overabundance of pizza shops filling my nose. My breath caught in my throat. We were home. Always gotta land well hard. Steak! No. Land hard. Oh no, it means the same thing. Oh god. No. No one came out in the title of this story. No one came out. Yeah, no one came out. Except for the heroes of the story. Yeah, they gay. What about it? Sorry, I'm eating a sugar cookie Hershey Kiss. You better be careful, or I'll Hershey kiss you on the mouth. And now we continue with the story. Oh. Please? Babe, come on, we're going to be late. I yelled across the house as I started to... But first... Okay, I know what's happening here, alright. Is this but first before I continue reading, or but first before I Hershey's kiss you on the mouth? Yeah, that's what I thought, the QuvarTV. Okay. Here we go. Let's give this a shot. You know, I'm still practicing these, still learning. I'm still trying new ways each time to see what kind of feels right, what kind of sticks in some kind of way. So thirsty, better drink more. All y'all motherfuckers need to hydrate. Hydrate. Make sure you hydrate. They call it gamer juice, not lamer juice. That's fucking right. Thanks for the gamer juice, sweetie. Gamer. Love it. All the QuvarTVs. I can always count on you to hit me with the Kuvar R's, Mimi. Speaking of Mimi, I didn't thank you properly yesterday for guiding Kitty to me. That was very sweet of you to so quickly shout my name out for him to come at me. It's really appreciated. It was an absolute delight. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, Mimi. It means a lot. You're so sweet. Snake right now. Arrgh. I have that effect on people, apparently. Interesting how that works out. Okay. Let's get back to the game. Absolutely. Babe, come on, we're going to be late, I yelled across the house as I started to button up my shirt, my finger lingering for half a second over the scar that ran across the middle of my stomach before buttoning my shirt up over it. Okay, we're not going to read that quite yet. Yes, Mimi is amazing, absolutely, and you are too, Q. As are you, Snickles. Do not discount how amazing you truly are, because you are fantastic and amazing and incredible. A shining light in my life. No problem, Q. I was lucky to be quick that time. yeah, it was fast. You were ready. You were on the ball there. You and Segoy just shouting my name to the mountains. And he'd be like, yep, all right, here we go. I was totally thrown off by that. That was wild. It was almost as wild getting all those follows in a row as it was getting all the Haas follows last night. But that was a little different. That was me just playing whack-a-mole with Haas's. Like, nope, not you, not you, not you, not you. Banhammer, Banhammer, Banhammer. I love you both so much. I love you all dearly. Thank you. Without you, I wouldn't be here. Yes, you came along with that, and it's a pleasure to have you. And I'm very happy you found your way here, sweet. Oh, it's an honor. Let me try then. Whack-a-mole with hotspots is a mood. Yeah, that's the thing is, I live my life with an overwhelming sense of irreverence for a lot of things, I think. So I understand that these hotspot raids are bad and they're upsetting to people and they're something that we shouldn't have to deal with. They're unfortunate. But I get a perverse thrill out of it. We're like, oh shit, we getting hit by hotspots? Fuck yeah, time to fucking destroy some shit. And I start ringing my hammer around, just smash, 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 like a protagonist, just smacking things to the side, just smack, back. You ain't got shit on me. You're weak. I spit on you and say degrading things to you. I think I banned like 90 yesterday. It felt like a lot. It was a lot, but it was fun. It was a good time. That wasn't that long ago even. That was less than 12 hours ago. Me too. Everyone is amazing. Killing hotspots is so much fun. It's a delight. Gives me a chance to flex my hammer muscles. But yes, you're all amazing, and I'm so thankful for you for being here. Thank you so much. Strong Boy. I'm so big and so strong and so hard. I try not to think much about what happened 5 years ago. Some of the blanks I filled in for myself, but there were some questions that were best left unanswered. We are not going to be late. Don't be so dramatic, a voice came from around the corner. I turned, smiling at the familiar sight of a tall figure with dark hair. Avery, I swear, you try to make us late every time we go anywhere with my dad, I said, facing back towards the mirror, reaching for another button before I felt someone's hands there instead. Avery turned me towards him, starting to do my buttons up himself. That's crazy, and even if I was, I would be justified in doing so. Your dad scares me, he said with a small smile, his fingers brushing lightly against my skin as he continued to do up the buttons. That's ridiculous. You've known him for 5 years, I said, rolling my eyes to distract from the fact that even after 5 years, his touch still made my heartbeat feel like it was going to escape out of my chest. Still scary. Also, why do your parents have to fly down every year for your birthday? He mumbled. Because they couldn't fathom the fact that we moved so far away. Also, I like seeing you get dressed up, which you only do if they're around, I say, a smile tugging on the corners of my lips. Avery paused for a moment, bringing his eyes up to meet mine. Yeah, he said quietly, smiling enough that I could see his dimples. I swallowed. Yeah, I said back, smiling as he finished doing up my buttons. I put my arms around him. I'll remind you that our anniversary is next week, which is celebrated without any family members if it makes you feel better, I said, my finger absent-mindedly running over his shoulder. I'd still like to debate about when exactly our anniversary should be. Is it the day we got married, or the day when you realized life was just a hollow shell unless you knew my heart was beating somewhere nearby? He said with a teasing smile. I couldn't help but match his smile as I rolled my eyes. Whatever you want. Although that would make our anniversary the same day as my birthday, which means we'd celebrate it with my parents, I said, moving my hands up across his shoulders to his chest. Definitely not. I wouldn't want to give you your anniversary present in front of your parents, he said, grinning. I smacked him lightly on the chest. My hand slid into his hair, pulling him down for a kiss. Holding it for a moment to let myself enjoy the familiar shot of warmth that came with it before pulling away. Come on, we don't want to be late. I can't help but remember thinking at that moment how perfectly beautiful life was, despite all that we had gone through. In that moment, life was perfect. Life was without issue. Then there's a line at the bottom of this that says, Theodore? Aiden? And then Morse code, which spells out acronym. Maybe acronym has something to do with the tangent Theodore went on about synonyms and variations at the beginning of part 3. Should we try to find an acronym in one of the other parts or the other story? I still have no idea who Aiden is, though. Was that the name of the person in the other story? Anyway, I hope everything's okay for you, Theodore, because something doesn't seem right here. Sorry, I'm reading some comments in here, trying to figure out what's going on. Interesting. Oh wow, that escalated quickly. Sure did. Wait, how many years? I didn't get it. It was 5 years that passed. Smack me. 5 years. It was really sweet, though, the way that ended. Still don't know what's going on with this whole Aiden thing, though. Which is also a really funny coincidence, given that Aiden was here. Aiden, Mr. Anderson, all that shit. Oh, Maya, hello. Straighten up and wiggle, thank you. Give me a little straighten up and a wiggle in there. Thank you very much, Maya. Love to see you here. Hope you're having a beautiful time. Hope you're having a wonderful day as well. There's so much going on here that I'm trying to understand. Oh, okay. So there's another story this person wrote called Alter Ego, I guess, which may have some other details in it. But I don't know. There's a lot going on. I'm not going to think about it too much. That was an ending, a wild ending, quick. Yeah, they kind of rushed right into it. There may be some secrets here, some weird things going on. But I'm just going to say that one line at the end there, that really got to me. That the day when you realized life was just a hollow shell unless you knew my heart was beating somewhere nearby. That really got me there. That hit me right in my kokoro, right in my brokero kokoro. It got me. That being said, that is the end of this tale. So, with that, perhaps it's about time we finally play some video games. 2.5 hours into my stream. This is not the first time I've done this. I do this a lot. It happens like this. This is the way I am. I just sit there and read so much. So, a second story. I'm gonna play some video games for a little bit. Sweet. I do love reading, but I think I gotta get some games in. Gotta get some proper games, especially since I've said that I've been Dead by Daylight for a while now, 2.5 hours, and that's not what I've been doing. Gotta get a little bit in there. Gotta get a couple games in, and then maybe we can read some more. I don't mind reading. I really enjoy reading, honestly. But gotta have a little bit of a cool variety, as it were, you know? I always love it when Q reads his wonderful writings. Oh yeah, that's a good point. I haven't read my writings yet today. I've only read other people's. Just take that silly thing off. Alright, if you insist, Mimi, I will take that silly thing off. There, I've taken that silly thing off, and they call it hydration, not low-dration. Drink. Thank you for the hydration, Mimi. 2 hours later. Yeah, my streams are pretty often kind of streams of consciousness, where I just kind of do whatever comes to mind, and they get off the rails pretty quickly, and a lot of it ends up just being reading. You know, just for fun. Fuck it. Fuck it. I'm Kuvar. I am fucking Var. We're gonna read one quick story, one quick thing of my own doing. Alright, hold on. I got this. It's fine. We're gonna read one quick thing. Just one. Alright, this one I think is kind of fun. What's the Korean gangster killer's name again? They are the Trickster. I don't remember their actual name if that's what you're asking for. I can look into it. Gotta leave to go stream with Fevs. Good luck with your story and your matches. Thank you very much, Aiden. Love that you were here for a while. Enjoy your stream. I hope you have a beautiful time. And thank you very much. SOCs are amazing streams of consciousness. Yeah, this one wasn't meant to be one, but it's kind of becoming one a little bit. After this story, I need to make a big mug of tea. See you later, Aiden. Yes, see you later. Have a beautiful time. Please refrain from mentioning other people's streams. Yes, generally, they are talking about Feather, though, who is a delightful friend and one of my mods, so I don't mind it too much, but thank you for looking out, Snake. I much appreciate it. Oh my god, it's so perfect. It's okay, I'll get on. See you. So I will, I don't know if the Dead by Daylight music's playing in the background here. Let me just close out of this. We'll do one quick video description. I'll read one. This one is a video description. For those of you who are unfamiliar, I ran a YouTube channel. I'll give a quick summary here. I ran a YouTube channel about 2 years ago. For about 2 years, it was a failure, absolute failure. And during that time, I wrote video descriptions for the videos. They started off as actual descriptions of the videos, but eventually kind of devolved because I got tired of it, and I began just writing whatever tangential nonsense came to mind, and it kind of devolved into a exploration of the human psyche, exploration of my own psyche, and a character study of who I am. That was 2 years ago. Things have changed since then. I'm a different man. I'm a grown man. I'm much better, so some of these get a little dark from time to time. It's okay. I'm in a good place now. But they're very interesting, and they have some insights in them and an interesting flow to them that I kind of enjoy. So this one that I'm reading is one that the prior video descriptions to this one, I kind of said that I was done with video descriptions again. I was like, I'm done with this. This is over. We're done here. No more video descriptions. And then this one came out a bit later, a couple videos later. So let me read this video description to you. What are you still doing here? It's over. I told you that, time and time again. Everything is transient. Life is fleeting. What do you think you stand to gain by coming back here? Again. And again. Do you really expect something, anything to come from your efforts? Do you think your obstinate behavior will yield anything? What do you want? Why are you here? Are you just looking for some sort of video description? Do you think that after all that hullabaloo, I'm just going to pop in here one day and type up some bullshit paragraphs about nothing just because you're still here? Do you really think that you'll pop in to find that nothing has changed? Do you expect to peek in here and see me typing something like, I swear, when I found that elevator music in this video, I ended up listening to it for 15 minutes straight. It toast disrupted my workflow. I stopped editing altogether and just sat there listening to the music while a big old cheeky grin spread across my face. My body, but mostly my shoulders and head, bopping around to the tune. And that bit, you know, that dun 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 dun, that same sort of thing in Tequila, gets me every time. At some points the song would start edging on annoying for me, then that would pop up and bring the full smile and head bob back. I really had to tear myself away from it to get back to work, and now it's playing again while I'm typing this. It's sort of incredible to me the power that the littlest things can have to bring such pure, unbridled joy into my life. It can be something as simple as the words a person says, the way they say them, the meaning behind them, the vision they encapsulate. It can be an image or a sight or a vista, people, places, things, memes. Oh lord, the memes. They're really only bad when they are insisted on existing as memes, or rather, the thought of them is a bit bad. We're not talking about bad things, though. Only good. Only wholesomeness and positivity, love and compassion, demons and bloodshed, flowers and kittens and rainbows. I swear, the rainbows, fam. I can't tell you how often I read a post on a given forum or article or Twitter that just brings tears to my eyes. Immediately, just due to the way it is written, or the emotion behind it, or the emotion I project or imagine could or would be behind it. I love people. I love when people love people. I love when people love things. I love when people are people. I love when people love. I love. I love. I love. So much of life is good, but it can be hard to remember that at times. Frustration, anxiety, regret, fear, melancholy, etc., etc. I feel these, more and often, forever and together, always and with it in my heart. There's a lot of bad in life, a lot more than there should be. Violence, hate, insincerity, prejudice. People can hate, people do hate, people hurt. All the more reason to see and embrace the good. All the more reason to focus on the bright. All the more reason to surround yourself with love, joy, acceptance, solidarity, warmth. Why don't you try a little tenderness? Mob mentality is a fascinating thing. Strong emotions surging through a crowd of people, amplifying, building to a fever pitch, everyone crying out in unison, feeling the same as thy neighbors, acting as one, being as one. Much of the best in life comes from this idea, fueled by love. Much of the worst in life comes from this idea, fueled by hate. Two sides of a coin. Riots, marches, rampage, parade, chanting, singing. I'm empathetic, I think, sometimes to a fault. I feel like I've talked at length about this in the recent past in one of these, but surely I couldn't properly express or relay what I meant, what I felt then, much like I won't be able to now. That's okay. It's okay if you don't understand me. It's okay if you don't feel what I do. It's okay if you're confused and afraid. So am I. I'll understand you, even when I don't. I'll feel what you feel, even when I don't. I'll love you and be proud of you, even when you aren't. You're good. You are important. You matter. We all do. We have one life, one earth, and much love. Remember to drink plenty of water. And don't stare directly into the sun. I appreciate you. I'm here for you. Good night. Sweet dreams. Everything is okay. They call it hydration, not low-dration. Drink. Thank you for the hydration, Snakey. Always appreciated. Let me complete these redeems here. So yeah, that is a small example. Another quick example for those who may be unfamiliar with the sort of creations that exist from video descriptions at the very least, and kind of what my writing can be sometimes. I am a man who writes, a writer by nurture if not by nature. I say this all the time. I am a man who writes, and I do enjoy writing, and I do enjoy reading what I write to people. It's got an intimate feeling to it, where we're sharing something special with each other, and I appreciate you being there for me. But for now, we gaming. We finally gaming. 2.5 hours into the stream. Let's fucking game.